Let me try this. I had to reboot OBS. It was doing something weird on Sunday too. Well, we'll try again.
Have you updated since last week?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Is it doing now? Yeah, I just restarted the whole thing. God damn it.
No.
That's all right. We're only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. It gives me a second to tally this
thing. Okay, round 2.
Cool. We'll try that again. Same order. Same time as the last time. Hopefully I'm equally on point.
Same round. Same verse.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit louder.
Yep. Worse. All right, everybody. That happened. I don't know what happened there, but we fixed it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saber Dice Fury. We are here. We're actually live this time. Psych from before. So let's go around, introduce our cast and crew here, and jump right into things. We'll start again with Kenny. Who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
Oh man, I just want to let you guys know, like, my first intro was so funny, and it's just really such a shame y'all missed out on that. And wow, we're never getting that moment back.
Yeah,
we heard it at least. It means something to us.
I'm Kenny Hill. I am playing Silica, who may or may not be real. We're gonna find out. I'm very excited for it. You can find me at twitch.tv/Kenny Hill, KENIHILL, throughout the rest of the week when we're not here.
Amazing. This was almost as good as the first time, but you know, chat, you'll never know. You'll never see that footage. Lost forever. To the annals of time. Let's jump over to Bill. Who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
Hey, I'm Bill. I have a YouTube channel called Wyloch's Crafting Vids, and I show you how to make tabletop scenery with real cheap materials like cardboard and hot glue and stuff. Today I'm playing Wyloch, and he's a nano with a very fractured mind.
Sweet. Let's see if we can't make that even worse. I mean, you'll be fine. Let's jump over to Jordan. Who are you? Where can we find you? And who are you playing today?
Hi, my name is Jordan, and you can find me here on YouTube. Just search Forgotten Realms Explained. I make Forgotten Realms lore videos, and I am playing Arri, who is a glaive that fuses flesh and steel. He's got a robotic arm.
That you do.
I do.
And last but not least, and in a few weeks, we'll see you with an actual robotic arm. In real life, real time. So, last but not least, we'll go over to Ted. Who are you? Where can we find you? Who are you playing today? And who are our sponsors?
Hello, everybody. I am Ted, or otherwise known as Nerdarchist Ted of Nerdarchy. We talk about RPGs and D&D and all that kind of stuff over on YouTube, as well as our own website, nerdarchy.com. Our sponsors for the duration of the campaign, which is actually we're closing in. We have Archania Workshop. If you want fantastic 3D printed miniatures, terrain, or dungeon tiles, go check them out. As well as Dungeon Painter Studios, pyromancers.com. If you want to customize maps to be able to insert right into your game, made exactly the way you want them, that is a great place to check out.
Fantastic.
Oh, and of course, I am playing Zariff, the tough jack who explores dark places. Did we lose Mike?
Yeah, we got nothing. Nothing from Mike.
Oh, he's muted.
It's great.
Yeah,
no, we just let him.
I'm a professional streamer. Guys, what is happening today? Is there a full moon? What's happening? I went outside for the first time in weeks, and now this.
Because you started talking, I cut you off to say who I was playing, so you muted yourself.
Yeah.
And then you just started talking.
Guys, I stream for 15 hours a week, all tabletop games, and I've lost my mind, apparently. So, Zariff, or Ted, you are the proud recipient of this week's XP from the previous episode. Overwhelmingly, everyone voted for you. So it was across the board vote for Zariff on this one. So 10 out of 10.
Well, thank you, everybody. I'll be happy to get that XP back that I spent trying to re-roll that one, because we get too many of those things that we don't get XP for.
Yeah.
So I need to get rid of those ones.
So chat, I will take this time to remind you guys, if you're watching this now, if you're watching this afterwards, in the comments down below, keep notes, take notes, do whatever you want to do. Tell me who you think deserves an XP at the end of this episode, and next week we will tally those up and give a free XP. At the end of the episode, we'll also have the group here decide amongst themselves who deserves a free XP. To expedite some of their character growth, as in the mechanical sense here. So
I like that some of our fans actually like do the little hash marks as they're watching.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I appreciate the detail. It's like, I think they deserve it for this and for this one scene here. And I'm like, okay, dope. That scene was cool. Glad you like that. Let's put a giant scorpion monster in there again. For your request. Chat, if you guys want me to throw anything ridiculous at them, you know, in the comments down below. Previously on Fury. Making their way through the ruined city, Zariff was easily able to lead Silica, Arri, and Wyloch to a small abandoned domicile that appeared to have been last used by some intrepid adventurer like themselves. The last visitant was seemingly convinced that there was some tomb nearby that contained some way to bring his lost love back to life. Following the path that Wyloch set for them, they safely navigated to an area in which he sensed a large congregation of Numenera and began to descend into a massive hole, till they found themselves in a sort of memorial to an ancient queen. Knowing they must be close to something special, they found a strange creature who stung Zariff, and through quick thinking and well-placed Numeneran device, Wyloch was able to find out the queen was brought here and brought further deep below. Descending deeper, the collective skills of the investigators were put to the test as they encountered hazard after trap after hazard, until finally finding themselves standing before the tomb of the queen, a queen that looked identical to Silica. You guys stand in the tomb of the queen. The lid has been slid off and removed to the floor. Smashed crates, smashed pots. Zelda was here. And before you, in repose, is a woman dressed in full noble regalia, mummified and looking shockingly similar to a long-dead Silica. What are you guys doing?
But first of all, it was Link.
What did I say?
Link. You said Zelda.
Wow.
Do you even game?
I'm going to end the stream, guys. I'm done.
Sorry. The comments will get you. They will eat you alive.
You know what? You guys take over. I'm just going to go. Whatever you want happens, happens.
So Numeneran artifacts fall from the sky.
Yeah.
And that's what was causing the storm. The clouds dissipate.
Just rains Numenera everywhere.
Well, for the first time probably in her entire life, Silica is speechless because this facsimile, like, this is weird.
Arri turns to Silica and says, I am so sorry for the loss of your sister.
I don't have a sister.
But Silica, she looks just like you.
She's got nothing. Wow, this is a moment for the history books.
I can't tell if that's Ted or Zariff.
Well, you know, it could be either. So I want to look around. I mean, we ended with, you know, pushing the lid off.
Sure did.
And I think most of us were kind of expecting this thing to, you know, sit up and trying to, you know, strangle us or all kinds of stuff. So I'm
frozen.
It wasn't immediately something bad.
Yeah,
so
it was not.
So I want to you know, look around,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not interested in touching anything at the moment, but I definitely want to kind of take a walk around and try and see what I can see what's going on. Is there anything of interest or whatnot inside the sarcophagus?
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a searching 4 or intelligence 4.
How decomposed does this look?
Not very.
So we can really see facial features and stuff.
Yeah, it looks obviously sunken in, right? It looks like, you ever go to a museum and see a mummy? How they kind of look like that sunken in kind of thing. Just imagine that without any of the wrappings on it. It looks like to be in the way we have a funeral. Like it looks like it's in full dress, but somehow preserved. Whether you're not sure if it's the entombment here or some kind of, you know, Numeneran device that has kept her this way or what it is, but she looks recently dead, except for the fact that she's very sunken in and like most of the muscle tissue seems to have been gone. Success. Okay, cool. So you're looking around the entire tomb or just inside the sarcophagus itself?
I mean, I'm fairly perceptive. I am trying to focus on the sarcophagus, but if there's something blaringly obvious from the outside, you know, I'd probably be able to see that too.
The first thing you are easily able to pick up with your relative background is that these chests, pots, etc., that were linked not Zelded, was not due to time and decay. These were opened, smashed. There are evidence that like something was jimmied into the lock to open this thing. You'll see there's like chips where it was like a pot was smashed and broken. So this was someone was here and did this. You notice that 15, eh? You notice that the regalia that this queen is in does not exactly match the regalia that the queen was in the Yesterglass.
So I'm going to point out these, couple little tidbits, nuggets. These pots, these urns, whatever you want to refer to them as, these were smashed. Something purposefully did this. And I don't know how well you study the images in your Numenera device, Wyloch, but what the queen wore in that is not what she's dressed in here. I don't know if that's of any import, but just figured I'd throw that out there.
I'd like to look at the body. Is she missing jewelry? Like, is there a place where a ring or a necklace might have been that somebody came in and stole?
Roll me an intelligence for if you have anything to searching. And thank you, James Leslie, for that $10 super chat. Loving the show. Keep at it, folks. He'll have to catch it when it's later. That's right, man. We'll be here. It's on YouTube. It's here forever. All right, let's see here. What do we got? We got a horrible absolute failure. No, you don't notice anything. You look down, and she looks disgustingly bony, with no muscle definition. Yeah. This is not the first corpse you've seen down here, but it's the first one that looks just like your friend.
Right.
It's just a dead body, Arri.
I don't like it. It's full of disease. We can catch whatever killed her. She didn't die of old age.
Pretty true. What is Silica and Wyloch doing?
I walk on up and I take a look down at the corpse, and then glance up at Silica, and then at Silica's arm, and then I poke the arm of the corpse, looking to see if there's like a voodoo doll connection or something like that.
She's not a slug. She's not a slug. What do you think this is?
That's amazing. That's amazing. There is not a reaction, but I wish there was.
No, I react. I'm like, what are you? Why you touch? Like, sort of jolted. Like, not that I feel what she is feeling, the being the post, but I also don't like disturbing the dead. And especially a dead that looks exactly like me.
So, as you do that, Silica, you should have twitched. It would have really freaked him out.
Like both me and Silica roll our eyes. Like, because now we're getting into like, this is funny, haha, as opposed to the very serious situation that we are in, which is there is a who knows how many centuries old queen who may or may not be the same person we saw in the Yesterglass, who looks freakishly like me.
That's fair enough.
But how serious is this really? I mean, is this like, this is not the impossible blade that we're looking for? Didn't Wyloch say last session that he doesn't sense Numenera in this room?
Yes.
So, like, we've been going down this rabbit hole, and it's led to some interesting twists. But this is unless somebody else sees something that I don't, this is a dead end, and we need to move on. We need to get back to our mission.
Unless we hope to see, you said that the glass, she's wearing different clothes than we saw before, but our vision expired. Ought we risk using this again? And I hold up the Yesterglass. So, should we?
I will remind you from the GM side of the house, the Yesterglass shows the last major event in the area. Judging by what Zariff found in that someone else has been here, the queen being delivered may not be the last event you see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So you risk seeing just a bunch of random people nonchalantly breaking pots.
Well, yeah. I mean,
okay.
That would be like grave robbers or something.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that it might not be the one you're looking for.
I was thinking, I'm not looking. We already know that she was delivered here. I wanted to know what happened in the interim.
Cool. Done. You want to use that?
You guys think that's worth it?
To see grave robbers? I don't know. The trickier thing is did we determine whether or not she was wearing any jewelry? Like, could we tell if the sarcophagus had been sacked? I guess.
Arri looked and was unable to tell. Anyone else can look.
If I would like to look and see if this is some sort of like death regalia that she's in, because she would have. It would make sense to me that what you get dressed in for death is different than maybe what she was wearing at the processional. So the fact that she's in slightly different clothing doesn't necessarily ring alarm bells.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing if she had been disturbed before, we might be able to tell.
Do you bring any of this up, or do you just start looking?
I bring this up.
All right, because like, you know, we could all look, and I think I'm the only one trained in searching. You know, maybe everyone helping would count to either lower the difficulty, or, you know, count as an asset, or whatever have you. Opinions? Oh, Mr. GM?
I mean,
that's fine with me. Yeah, if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves and come up with who's looking and what you're looking for and explain to me, I will let you roll again. I have no problem with that at all.
Well,
yeah, I can assist because I would be familiar with any of my at least familial traditions for like death regalians and such. I don't know how much of that would apply to this situation, but it's worth something, I think.
Yeah, I'll give you an asset for that.
So I can kind of explain that to them.
You're used to, you know, royalty and what typically might be worn. Like,
yeah,
I've dealt with Aeon priests. I'm not buddy with the king.
Yeah, I mean, my dad is, so it's probably fine. I have a sense of what goes on at funerals for the nobility.
So is that what you guys are doing?
Yes.
All right. So it's still Numenera. Numenera. It's still a intelligence 4 searching, and I'll give you one asset for. I'll give you one asset for Silica helping you, and a bonus for her knowledge of what the hell's going on.
All right. So, gotta click the bonus. Difficulty 4. One asset. One bonus. Bam!
Nice.
Teamwork. That's what it's all about.
There
Perfect.
we go.
That's the number I was looking for before. There is evidence that their jewelry was taken. You'll see that there are marks, like indents on her rings, where her rings would go, rather. And you notice that I'll say Silica notices, because she's talking your ear off about the garb and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I've gotten rolled now.
There are only 8 petals on the robe.
And how many is on hers? Was it 9?
9.
So Silica, is there anything significant in your family history about a change in this regalia? Is there a difference between what 8 and 9 petals means?
I would like to roll an intellect check, because that seems like a fact.
You don't have to roll an intellect check. There is not.
Okay.
What you know, Kenny, is what you know. There is not. As far as you know, there is no symbology between 8. If you'd like to roll me an intelligence check anyway, you can. it will be difficulty 5.
And should I don't have like a negative.
No, then you just roll straight up intelligence.
Okay, there it is.
Oh,
Okay,
you do have a negative. You have an inability to remember things.
That's why I was wondering about the rolling situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so then call it a 4 with your inability and just click on the inability.
Oh, okay. So
while they've been searching and talking, I stepped back, said to Arri, you think that pedestal moves?
I was just wondering if it was hollow too. And Arri like starts tapping around the outside of the sarcophagus, I guess, and stuff to kind of see minor wise, like the stone and things like that.
Okay, dope. I like that. Roll me. Ooh. roll me intelligence 4 with an asset for your background.
Okay.
Silica, you do not remember anything. You know that the 8-petaled flower is not anything you've ever heard of. You don't know any historical like symbolism in your family genealogy that like it went from 8 to 9. You've never heard of any other number of petals, so this seems like a completely foreign thing to you.
I relay that to Zariff.
So I'm just gonna go out on a limb. Do we know before I say that? Do we know or do we surmise this is the ninth world, or is that more like theme thing that the characters don't, or
that's definitely a player thing. Like no one calls it the ninth world, right? You just know that you are in the world and there are previous like
all right, got it. Never mind.
It's like we don't call it today the modern age, right? We just know that there was the classical and the bronze and the stone, etc.
Well, we say it's modern times.
Well, that's true. You don't say it's the 9th times here. It's just modern times still.
All right. Well then, chuck that idea out.
I like where you were going.
I saw where you were going with that. That was a good idea.
I try, and I think that's the way that Zariff would try to puzzle things together. So.
Yeah. No, that was a good idea. I like that. Arri, what are you doing?
I probably got a little hammer and I'm putting my ear to the sarcophagus and I'm kind of like tink, tink, tink. And I'm going around in a circle, looking to see if it's hollow. Maybe I'm like pushing on it a little bit, like one with my hand, one with my robotic arm to get some more leverage to see if it wants to swivel or move or anything.
Yeah. Whole thing's hollow.
Whole thing's hollow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see that the sarcophagus raises off the ground probably about 3.5 feet, and only the first foot of it, the top foot, is where the corpse is. The remaining bottom 1.5 or 2.5 is completely hollow.
I'm going out on a limb here, but this place has been ransacked. They knew that there might be grave robbers. Is it possible they have a dummy corpse to make the grave robbers think they found this queen, but they didn't actually find the queen and she's maybe hidden underneath?
Is Arri really thinking that?
Arri is. I think he is. I think his like equation mind just started going in a circle like, well, here and then there's grave and like everything just kind of he gets a headache, like it hurts. He's like, ow, I had an idea. One of those images with pictures.
All right, odd question.
Yeah.
Because this seems to have our reoccurring thing. Is there anything with the sigil anywhere in this room?
There is not.
So really, the only connection I have with this lady is she kind of looks like me.
The door leading to this tomb also had the 9-petaled rose.
Rose.
But
So
also in your family colors.
Yeah.
Was it red, gold, and purple?
Yeah, but I mean, there's purple, red, gold. Like a billion families could have those colors. Certainly.
I know, right?
But how many are going to have those colors and your crest
and your face?
Okay, you guys are making some really good points. What I'm saying is though that if she's not wearing my family sigil, something is very, very wrong here. If it's supposed to be, but isn't. Well,
perhaps that is further evidence to what Arri has to say. Perhaps that's the clue.
they couldn't give the full symbol to someone who wasn't actually royalty? Were anyone in your family explorers, Silica? Did they go off and never come back?
Not that I know of.
Now that you know of, and this is like centuries old. What you've seen so far is centuries old, right? So I think that the farther back in history it goes, the more active your lack of memory is. So like this would be like when you were a kid, you would learn about this, and you're like, "Ah, fuck, I don't need that. Get that out of
pretty
here."
much.
Yeah.
So can we look? All right, before this conversation goes any further,
Mhm.
Silica, we're looking for, you know, things to pursue our quest. We don't think there's Numenera here. I don't know, Wyloch. Are there things that shield detection from your abilities? I don't know if that's possible. But we don't think there's Numenera here.
I don't sense anything, but my friend in black, spelunkerer experienced, isn't it common to hide things underneath corpses?
Absolutely. So that was my next question. If this is indeed possibly an ancestor of yours to some degree, I think it would be essential to request your permission to continue searching.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I like stand up. Thank you, Zariff, for your consideration in this matter. I truly appreciate your deference here. I move if I think that it is fine to move the corpse, but I will do the moving of the corpse.
Arri gives you a big thumbs up because he doesn't want to touch it. So
I figured as much.
Okay.
And I don't want you guys touching her, so that's fine as well. Even though like I'm sensing something is amiss here, it weirds me out. So I will do the moving.
Okay. How do you go about moving this corpse?
Straight up princess carry, just like she deserves. So I go up next. I slide my hands under her shoulder blades, under her knees, and I'm a glaive. Like, I'm strong.
Hoist it up. Okay.
And she's a mummy. Like, what does she weigh? Like 100 pounds soaking wet? Come
Maybe.
on.
Not even.
Having seen and touched real mummies, once they're properly desiccated.
Can we go back? Can we rewind? Like a good 30 seconds?
Okay. So there is a museum that I recently went to that had an exhibit where you could touch a real life mummy. Yes, been there, done that.
You guys get mad at me when I throw pretend monsters at you.
What? I can't just be a nerd on camera. I gotta,
No, it's just a show. We're just regular average people. It's just a facade.
Nope. Total nerd.
I've never picked up a mummy. I've never had the inkling to do it.
I did not pick it up, but I did see it all fused together, and you could touch its stringy hair and its emaciated skin, and it was weird. But
an asset for that earlier.
Once you have the organs out and there's no water in the body, I mean, in real life we know we're 70% water, so you can carve that off. So you're 100 pounds, in life, you're 30 pounds or less when you're a mummy.
There you go.
Done and done.
Kenny, if you ever need to know how you pick up a corpse, you got it. You got this. So
easy peasy. I can do it.
You easily princess carry this corpse. Very stiff rigor mortis. Ligaments have been basically welded together as the sinew rotted away. Where do you place this corpse on the ground? Out there in the hallway? Do you bring it back to the embalming room?
Well, I was about to say there was an embalming room, so I think I would take her back there and set her onto that table instead. I would not put her on the ground. Come on, people.
I don't know. I don't know who this imposter queen is.
Sorry, guys. I would have put her on the ground.
Yeah. Beneath her, everyone notices that there is what would have once been lush pillows, right, set up on the walls of this thing. They have since, under the weight of a body, they've flattened out. They're, not quite moth eaten, but they're molded and they're not fresh. They're not super nice pillows. You wouldn't want to put them on the bed. But that's all you guys see is just rows of pillows underneath this corpse.
Well, we have to, move and look for a hidden panel, look for some kind of access thing. I mean, it's the body that needs to be respected, not the pillows. So, right?
Sure.
Yes.
I hit it with my hammer.
I don't think that's a good idea. The idea is this still, whoever that is, they still need to be laid to rest. So I would not seek to destroy their final resting place.
Okay.
And I'm like mid-swing when he tells me this, and I'm like, oh, all right. And I put it down.
Sad now. So how are you guys going about exploring the underside or the inside of this this coffin, this sarcophagi?
I'll probably do a similar thing with my tiny little hammer, and I'll be looking maybe for some hollow points or something. Maybe there's like a grip where you can pull it up, like lift it up or something. I don't know if it's got like little finger holes or whatever.
Sure. Okay. So you guys get the pillows out of there, and you're sort of scraping at the bottom where the pillows would have been on. Also fully hollow. Now, you rolled real high on that thing. So what it looks like is this whole thing. So basically, you have a 3-foot section. Right, the first foot is where the body was. This is hollow down. So as soon as you start tapping, oh no, we lost Ted. Guys, camera's gonna be messed up for a little bit. The moment you start tapping is when you notice that the entire thing is hollow. There are no mechanisms, no switches, no finger holes. It looks like one solid piece.
Solid, huh? Like solid from where is it connected? Like I'm assuming there's like a lip. Like it's indented because she was down in there. So is it like one solid piece in that corner?
So it looks like the whole. So when you guys slid the lid off, right? The lid was like good 3 inches of stone, and the entire bottom seems to be one piece.
I stroll on up and I put a hand on it. Then I recoil a moment and look up to Silica and say, "Since you seem to be so sensitive, do I have your permission to look inside?"
I'm getting sassed now? Is that what does this come to? Is I'm getting sassed. I'm like
not here to harsh my vibe, so I want to do something.
Okay, I'm trying to like maintain composure, and I'm like, no, proceed.
Just saw your own corpse. Now you get sassed.
Yeah,
right, so
like what is happening?
I put both hands onto it below that foot, so somewhere on the bottom 2 feet, and I mutter an incantation, and I'm going to cast. I don't know if that's the word. I'm going to use my esotery to walk through walls.
Okay. Now, are you going where she was laying in, or are you going in the side?
I want to go in the side, so if I can crawl or whatever, to get just so those lower 2 feet where we know it's hollow, the cavity in there. That's what I want to try and see.
Yeah. How does your... Yeah, we'll go with that. You sort of lay down and you pull yourself through, and you guys have seen this before, and you see him slowly pulling his way through. How do your senses work when you're pulling through? I know in the tower, your senses worked differently because that was a special thing, but normally, do you have your senses about you when you're phasing through something?
You can't act other than moving. Or perceive anything until you pass entirely through the barrier.
Okay.
You can't pass through energy barriers.
Okay. So, you have to climb into this coffin. Cool. So, just wanted to make sure that was clear. So you pull yourself through, and eventually I'll say you perceive enough that if you're like crawling, towards this thing, you'll eventually hit the other side. I assume if you're going in the side, it's not wide enough for you to get all the way through. You'd pass to the opposite side. So you kind of have to adjust yourself so that you're now laying below where this supposed queen was laying. You are completely through. It takes a good 20 or so minutes to position yourself and get through that much material. But you are able to do so. And when you do, you are completely surrounded by stone on a stone floor, underneath what looks to be the inverse version of this sarcophagi, and you can feel at your head a strange, spongy, almost rubbery thing.
Hedge magic, whoosh, light source.
Okay.
And I look.
Okay. There is a large, green, spongy, rubbery thing at your head. It looks like nothing you've ever seen before. It is maybe 6 inches long, and it is flat to the ground, and then it's on the ground, and then there's like a round bump. So it's basically it's kind of like a headrest if you had to guess. But why the hell would there be a headrest right there?
Okay, like a half cylinder, green, spongy thing.
Yep, that's the word I was looking for. Cylinder.
Oh, I definitely poke it.
Okay. Outside, you guys see him sucking into this sarcophagus, and you eventually hear as Wyloch, you begin to slowly move down.
Okay, so the floor beneath me is going.
The ground beneath you shakes, and you begin to descend.
As soon as it does, I don't know how thick the wall is. Presumably not that thick. Even if it's stone, I start banging on it.
Yep.
As much as I can while I'm still high enough to bang on those 2 feet.
Yep. So you guys hear this.
I turn to Zariff,
and you hear this.
and I'm like, Zariff, if you don't want me to hit this thing, tell me right now, Zariff. If you don't want me to pound this with my hammer, Zariff, just tell me right this second that I should not do that. And I wait, and then I just hit it because I think Wyloch's in trouble.
Done.
And I try to break it.
Absolutely. Roll me might, difficulty 4, and I believe you have an asset for breaking things.
Breaking inanimate objects.
Yep. So roll your breaking inanimate objects ability, and it would be a difficulty 4. Success. So describe what it looks like as you take that hammer to Pound Town on this sarcophagus.
Yeah, it's just one of those I probably spin it in my hand and then grab it with both hands and come up really high and hit it smack in the center, and it just spider cracks and the whole thing breaks open and falls on top of Wyloch's head.
Absolutely.
Hopefully I don't hit Wyloch.
So you cave in where the queen was laying, and I realize that only you guys can see these wild gesticulations, as everyone only sees the lower half.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm making.
So you smash in this thing. Should I fix these cameras? I don't know when he's gonna be back.
You should make a 4-person camera for when this happens every week.
I know. You'd think I'd have this ready to go, but
professional streamer, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do it on my channel either. I just assume everyone has fixed their internet problems in rocks and rolls. Yeah, so we'll do that. So yeah, you smash down on this thing, and it looks awesome for sure. That we can all agree on. And it absolutely spider cracks exactly like you said, and just rains down shards of stone all over Wyloch as it just crumbles. The walls pretty much stay, but the innards just go to, and you can see there's cracks up the sides with the strength of this hit. But the facade of stone that was layering between the corpse and where Wyloch would be now shatters, and you see him covered in dust and debris, and a few strands of wispy hair as it begins descending.
Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome back.
I am very sorry about that. We lost all internet and phone for that duration. What'd I miss?
Wyloch climbed inside the sarcophagus and phased through it, and then hit a button, and then the elevator started going down, and Arri panicked and shattered the sarcophagus with his hammer.
Yeah. I did ask your permission. I said, Zariff, tell me no if you don't want me to do this. You didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I was apparently stunned by all of this.
Yep. You were shocked into silence, and it was the weirdest thing.
All right. So, yeah. So we're going down some kind of elevator thing?
Just Wyloch is.
Oh.
I reach down with my hand to grab Wyloch. I'm like, grab my hand.
Come with me if you want to leave.
Because I think he's in danger. I'm worried.
Sure. Wyloch,
Okay,
are you able to grab his hand?
Yeah, and I think... Yes, I want to try. Okay. And I reach up, throw off some rubble, and if I have to, I jump. I don't know how far down I am.
No, you're laying down. Now, once you see the rubble kind of smash down on top of you, you could probably stand up and he can hoist you and assist you out of this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not that crazy of a contraption here. But yeah, you see as he kind of hoists you out, the rocks continue to crumble and descend as you continue to see this roughly, human-sized shaped just descending into the dark depths.
So where is Silica at this moment? Is she still carrying the body out, or
she's returned. It took Wyloch a good 10 or so minutes to phase through the actual sarcophagus.
So are we now looking down at like an elevator shaft?
Essentially, yeah.
And I'm wondering,
there's no like handholds or anything, or is it perfectly okay?
Nope. It seems to be your best guess is a metal or some kind of metal, synth metal maybe, shaft that goes all the way down with a, oval cutout that just traveled all the way down that Wyloch was laying on.
How far how far down is it currently?
Down right now, maybe about 10 feet. Not that fast moving.
And where was the button?
There is a green, spongy half cylinder on the back wall of the sarcophagus.
I poked it right
underneath.
away.
Yeah. He immediately siliconed that.
That is absolutely what we do with buttons. We just press them. So do we want to go for a ride, or do we want to wait for it to stop? We set up a rope and climb down, or are we just going to leave this thing open and walk away?
So my whole thing.
I'm not happy with the last option.
Yeah, my whole objective with this was to possibly break a seal or a blockade or something and see if I could re-hone in on the thing we're looking for. Surely the impossible blade is Numenera, and I was wondering if it was hidden beneath here. So do I sense anything new now with the sarcophagus removed?
Roll me a Numenera check. Difficulty is 4.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Yes. You very much do. The force of Numenera that was drawing you here, that seems to be a dead zone in this room, has been eradicated. The dead zone is gone. You sense Numenera not so much on this floor that you're on, but below you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it a general sense that you get, or are you able to hone in on specifics?
I can hone in, my friend in black. There is definitely something down there, and we should all jump.
I have no problems with this. What Arri?
Yeah,
Silica?
I can jump.
Yeah,
Body's
10 feet.
done,
That's
I'm
they're good to go. Like there's lingering regret because I feel like there should be more that I can do for that body, because whether or not it is related to me, like it still deserves to be laid to rest, but I don't know that we have time for that right now. So I think we're gonna have to leave it behind. And
I don't know if this is obvious on your face, but I'm gonna go with it. Zariff will say, we should be coming back through here on the way out, and we will do what is right.
oh, thank you. Okay. Yeah, because I would have looked back. I would have I think I'm transparent enough. So I'm starting to like Zariff a bit more. Just like it's just really an upstanding gentleman.
I try.
Right. Yeah.
He's really good at placating the masses.
Well, all it takes is getting that youthful vigor back. And,
something's changed about Zariff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
De-aged.
So I'm ready to jump down.
Okay, so you guys all jump down onto this platform as it lowers. It's relatively easy to lower yourself down on this platform and catch the other people, so there's no roll required there. And you do, and you are rather tightly packed on this thing, as it is roughly the size of the inside of a coffin, and all 4 of you are now standing on this thing as it slowly lowers down on what seems like archaic mechanical device lowering down this thing until finally it settles. Dust kind of sprouts up around you, and you are in a new, strange, and different chamber that is still dark.
I take out my glow orb.
Okay. Wyloch, do you also have some
hedge magic?
magic out there? Okay, cool. So as you guys descend through this thing, or as you guys land, you look, and the last, once you guys have lights on, the last 6, 7, 8 feet or so take on more of that decorated kind of feel, giving you the impression that this is a further extension of the tomb. You see that there are the colored ceramic tiles, not quite a mosaic, but definitely some kind of patterned design. They are faded, peeling, and as you look around the room that you're in, outside of the shaft, you see that there are murals that are on the wall. The plaster is faded and crumbling in some places, and they show the queen, or what you've come to know as the queen, floating high above her people, while they are in fields, kind of toiling and working the landscape. There's men tending flocks, there's people fishing, there's all kinds of things like that. And you kind of look around you, and there are 2 corpses in this room that lie against the wall.
Are they in any sort of uniform?
They are in tattered brown robes.
A male or female?
You have to get off that platform and go take a look.
So I will take a cursory look around, see if there's anything that we need to worry about, traps, issues, any of that kind of stuff before we move further.
Go for it.
So, always
difficulty 4.
Always prefer, when a GM says, "Oh, well, you don't find anything."
No, I'm never going to say that.
Hey, I was shocked that you didn't have us make a jumping roll. So.
Nah.
We get 1 gimme, and that was it.
You guys use it up already.
Yep.
I don't see anything. Looks clear.
Cool. Awesome. So are you stepping off the platform?
Absolutely.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing as he does so?
I want to take a closer look to see if there's weapons. I'm thinking, okay, this could be her retainer, the queen's retainer, and I just like they could be serving her in the afterlife.
Okay. How are you doing this? You just kind of get over there, or?
Yeah, I walk. I mean, Zariff gave me the all clear, and I trust Zariff, so I stride over to these corpses.
Now, do you stride ahead of Zariff, or Zariff, are you the first off and walking into this room?
I'm trying to be first.
Okay.
I let him.
Yeah, you got to be the rogue. So I'm out there doing the roguey stuff.
Zariff, you step off the platform, and nothing happens. You walk forward into the room, and you get a good 5 or 6 paces in before you inexplicably whack into an invisible wall. You hear this as you hit this force. You kind of take a step back, and now kind of gleaming in the light that has moved up behind you of Silica's glow globe, you see that there is a large floating glass disc that was almost imperceptible previously, but now that the light's kind of reflecting off it, now that you walked face first into it, you can see it, and is now humming like as if someone was like rimming a glass. That same kind of like that musical tone. And as you kind of sit there thinking that you just walked into a glass wall and rubbing your head, you hear this weird like splashing noise as if someone's pouring liquid out. And it draws all of your eyes towards the ceiling, where liquid is pouring out of the ceiling and slowly falling and hovering and forming a large ball in the center of the room. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Is this ball getting bigger?
Yes.
Filling the room, basically?
Nope. It's so it starts with like the size of a golf ball, and then it fills to like a baseball, softball, and at its height, it gets to maybe the size of I don't know, whatever, like a beach ball.
Okay.
And despite the water, despite this liquid coming down into it, it doesn't seem to get any larger.
So how big is this room?
This room is about. Let me see here. Let me find out. What did I draw? Something. This room is 20 feet by 30 feet.
Have I encountered anything like this?
This would be a first.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of begin backpedaling. I will I'll pull out my bow and I will begin trying to, size this thing up.
Do I recognize any of this apparatus?
The glass or the weird liquid that's floating?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
You do not.
Okay, this is not Numenera.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes. I think it out loud.
Wyloch doesn't really have an internal monologue, does he?
He just has several external monologues.
Can't think of an instance.
So as you guys are kind of looking over this molten liquid orb that's just sort of gesticulating wildly in the air, you see a very strange and almost macabre scene as what looks to be a human face just sort of across, like very mummy style, the face of this liquid orb, and then settles back in the direction where the most of you are facing. And you see it like almost forcing its way out. And you can see that it's not quite human. It has a human shape to it, but you can see that under the bottom jaw there are mandibles that kind of come out, and you see there's strange little horn protrusions, and you can see that it has two normal eyes, and then next to it it has two more smaller eyes, and you see it like furrow its brow at you and begin to talk rapidly, and it audible, like it resounds off of the stone and metal walls here, and you can kind of hear it like reverberating and humming off of the glass. It is a language that none of you understand, but it seems to be a very stern tone, and judging by the facial characteristics, it seems to be hurriedly and stressedly talking, yelling, or explaining something. You're not really sure what the heck it's doing. It sounds like angry German. Or just regular German.
Looks like you're up, Silica.
I
Come on, you got this one.
And I think I say to the group, I think this might be one of Deborah's experiments. And
Deborah.
It took me a second. I was like, "Who the hell's Deborah?"
Devora.
Well done.
No, I think this is more more of a warning to those coming through. Perhaps if you present yourself, it might acknowledge you as lineage.
Does the chittering sound like what we heard from the death god? Because I'm getting insectoid feelings from both.
Not at all.
Not at all similar.
No.
Okay.
This sounds like a spoken language. You just don't understand what they're saying.
Okay. But Zariff's like pulling me forward, so I guess yes.
I'm not insistent, but I'm like, you're willing to talk to anything, so give it a shot.
All right. So I straighten up, put on my best posture, and I step forward and I say, "Hail and well met, friend."
And as you step up to this thing, you see the stern face of this, whatever it was animatedly shouting out to you guys. You see its mouth close, and it turned towards you, and the entire thing just sort of wobbles and almost implodes, and then just mist kind of fills the room, and then slowly fades to the ground and is gone.
I think we're in the clear.
See, might not have looked familiar, but the concepts have been done before. I think it's further evidence that there's some relation, or I know you don't believe in fate or coincidences, so it's got to be actual relation.
Certainly something weird is afoot here. I have never experienced anything like that creature before, though. So I suggest we find out what we can about this place and then quickly make our exit.
Are there any doors? Are there any other exits to the room besides the elevator?
There are, yeah. So once you guys begin to properly look around this room, there is the shaft in which you came down in. The room opens up. You see that it extends to your left a good 10 feet past this. Like a small alcove over there. There's a set of double doors in front of you. And there's a small, if you walk up to the double doors and you kind of make a left turn, there's a small, like maybe 3-foot gap of a wall that you can kind of squeak your way through if you kind of walk, side along.
I would like to look at the alcove.
I'm curious about this glass thing. It's not. I envisioned it like a force field that was around us, but it's not. It's just like
nope,
a circular...
It is a large circular floating disc.
And it's still just floating there, or was that where the water was being? It's still there.
Nope, it's just floating there. Yep, the reverberation has more or less stopped.
Can I push it like out of the? Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely can. You just sort of give it a heave, and it sort of slowly floats. There's a little bit of resistance, but you assume that's whatever is holding it up there. But you sort of push it, it moves with you.
Does it come back if I let it go?
Nope.
Okay. Well, we got something we can hide behind for cover, maybe.
On that note, I walk over to the corpses, and I don't touch, actually, because I look back and I say, all right, to Zariff, okay, you 1, me 10. And then look down and just see, being much closer and able to focus, do I notice anything? Is anything sticking out to me or like have a glowing aura?
No. You don't notice anything. What you do notice is that they are wearing brown, some kind of cloth. It looks, worn, beaten. They seem to be matching their outfits. They coordinated them very well. Simple, rough spun clothing. Not of this age, you would guess. I'm not sure how high your fashion sense is, but it looks older than what's currently available. And yeah, even if you like kind of like move them around and give them a little toss, they don't seem to have anything on them at all. They seem to be in like they have like a rope belt, almost as if like a priest, you might guess.
Okay, so I spend a few minutes doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is in the alcove?
The alcove is more bas reliefs that are cracked and faded. Like I said, depicting the queen floating high above her people in fields. As they toil and work away the day.
Nothing in the symbology that we haven't seen before.
You've never seen the queen floating above her people, whether that is a symbolism of that her spirit watches over them, or that she is a tyrant. You're not entirely sure of how that symbolism plays out in this without context clues.
Well, what if I looked at the peasants' faces and the queen's face? If she's being depicted as a tyrant, it would be more of a stern or sour expression, and the peasants would kind of be the same. If she is looking down and protecting, it could be a neutral expression on the queen or happy, but the peasants would be happy at having that protection.
Okay. Roll me searching difficulty 5.
Oh, man.
I like where your head's at.
Oh my gosh. Kenny, you got a new microphone. I just realized this.
Surprise.
So
the images are, I guess, too faded to be able to tell.
Yeah, you see that like the plaster is kind of faded off there. There's like chips in the faces. You notice there's no taskmaster here. If that sways you in either direction, there's no like you don't see anyone like an arm raised, or there's no one in some kind of violent pose. But the faces you can't really tell, so it doesn't give you any more information.
Well, without anything to specifically say, oh, this is a tyrant, I would lean more towards the positive end.
You said she was floating?
I did say that.
I'm standing near this disc
Yep.
that Jordan was pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Is it big enough that I could stand on it?
Mm-hmm.
So
That's the spirit.
You would just have to rotate. So it's like a hanging mirror, right? You'd have to rotate it so that it's horizontal.
But I saw Jordan. All right, sorry, I saw Arri move it.
Yeah.
Who's Jordan?
Oh.
Yeah, you would just have to. So right now it's vertically. You'd have to find a way to twist it.
So
to be horizontal.
I want to work with Arri and see if we can gently figure out, because I mean this thing looks maybe kind of fragile.
Sure.
I want to see if we can get it horizontal and situated in such a manner that I could stand on it.
Yep, you do. Collectively, the two of you can turn it and pull it down. It remains floating, and you can put it horizontal.
Sweet.
You can try and get on there.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm getting on there.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Roll me.
Oh.
This is a glass disc, so you can roll me a balancing. It'll be pretty easy. It's a balancing 3 to get on here. You have the assistance of.
I'm a gymnast.
I know.
Yo.
Yeah, it is glass, so it's slippery. You know.
Okay. So difficulty 3.
Yes. Success.
There you go.
Cool. So, the moment you step on this thing, you kind of hoist yourself up and you stand much in the same pose as the queen as she looks down on her servants. You all hear this strange clicking noise and like the whirring of gears. They seem to be like and grinding as if stuck with age, possibly, or something more nefarious. Who knows? But the wall opposite you, Zariff, not in the alcove, begins to slowly vibrate, and you see more plaster chip off. And eventually you see the wall separate in the middle, and it makes it about 5 or 6 inches before you hear more of the grinding of gears, and it shakes more violently. And you can see through the glow globe and the esoteries that are in the air, there is a room beyond there, but this door mechanism, you assume, is having trouble trying to open due to the age of these gears. What do you guys do?
I would like to try and help open it.
How would you like to do that?
My mighty muscles.
Done.
Do we see the gears, or are they like in the walls?
They're in the walls. Yeah, you can hear you can hear like the click 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 mechanism, right, and the grinding. So you're smart enough, like several of you are smart enough to know that this is probably a gear or a mechanical device that is grinding these open, and not some like vacuum pack sealed Numenera.
So
that opens things.
I have a pack of light tools.
Okay.
Would that count at, a crowbar, pry bar, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I would say you'd have enough tools to the way I think of light tools would be like trap mechanisms to like undo traps and like that kind of thing. So yeah, you could get in there, and I would say if Ari's trying to like pull it open, you could absolutely assist him and give him an asset with those tools.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Cool. So Ari, you can roll me a might check. It'll be difficulty 4. You have 1 asset for Zariff's tools as he tries to clear out the part that's separating, like where it's sinking into the wall. He tries to clear that out and remove some of the debris for you.
Yeah.
You grab onto this. He almost has no time to scrape this thing, and you just you tear one open. Wow. So behind this mural that was there, you guys find a room that is bare metal surfaces. Filled with dust-covered tools. There seem to be building supplies such as bricks, as plaster paint. This seems to be like one of the builders' rooms that made this place. There are like scratches of paper with like designs that's crossed out and like crumpled up. You also see there's like tools similar enough to Zariff's tools that he just used, but obviously ancient. They're like rusted. Some of them are made out of stone. And yeah, what else? What are you guys doing in there?
I'm shocked that this transference of her standing on a disc opened up a room that's just like an abandoned workshop. Like there's no further room beyond.
No.
There's got to be something else here. This has got to be some kind of facade. This has got to be. There should be more than this.
I'm wondering if this looks anything like the laboratory that I saw in my vision when the vines got me when we had our vision quests.
Mm-hmm.
Does it resemble that at all?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of like tweaking out a little bit as I'm standing there.
Well, I'm gonna have to go watch that again because the only thing I remember is the message.
Yeah. In fact, roll me an intelligence. I'll say it's difficulty 4. You have 1 asset. Wyloch.
Excuse me. Yay.
Ooh.
Cool. If I may, Wyloch, you sort of have your little fit, and in said fit, you sort of step forward and into this room, and almost like automaton, you sort of reach down and slide open one of the drawers, and everyone can see you do this as you reach in and just pull out a stack of papers and sort of place it on the desk, almost as if you had placed them there before and you knew right where they were. As you kind of finish tweaking out and open your eyes, you see that there is a stack of notes before you. In mixed hieroglyphs, you're fairly certain that with enough time and study, you could figure out what the hell these mean, what the drawings mean, what the symbology is on this thing. But with a quick glance, it seems completely foreign.
Okay, so I did all that. Now I'm standing there, kind of puzzling over the papers, very still.
Mm-hmm.
And the papers are intact. They're not like...
They seem to be intact.
Wow.
They don't crumble like any kind of vellum.
That is interesting. Are they parchment? Are they hide?
Neither. They seem to be this weird, almost. I mean, Wyloch will be able to tell you. They seem to be this weird, like almost slick kind of material, and they're blue. Not the same kind of blue as the sails or the tower.
Okay.
I just like the color blue.
Are there any other exits to this room?
This workshop?
Yeah.
No. There are exits to the room you guys were just in with the floating disc. Like I said,
we find ourselves comfortably in a niche. I'm going to suggest that we rest here, which will give me some time to try and decipher these. Because I need a 10-hour rest.
I mean, I'd be happy to play on. I don't know what a segue is because I don't think that exists in my world, but kind of, shifting my balance. I'm trying to see if I can get it to move. I kind of have this feeling that it is somehow vehicular in nature.
Okay.
So
roll me an intelligence, difficulty 5.
Okay. I'm gonna put effort into this.
Okay.
Because I want it. So, do I have an asset just for being Silica?
No.
And nope. Okay.
No.
Always good to ask.
I appreciate the try. Success. Okay, so you put more mental capacity into this than most things you've done recently, because you want this bad, and you know that with some exertion of mental force, you can kind of will this to go in the direction you want. It's blocky and like difficult, and like it lurches, like riding a Segway or one of those hoverboards that exist now, right? They're kind of confusing, and if you don't get just the right balance, but it's mental, you kind of get lurched to the side, and you kind of got to scramble to hold on. But you can move this. It's not fast. You can walk faster than this, but you have a floating disc.
But I can go up.
Yep, you can.
All right.
The elevator can also go up.
That only stays here though. So
that's fair. That's fair. You can ride up the shaft of this thing. That would make sense. Yep. Touche. Yeah, so you have this thing, and it is about, like, now that you kind of have it turned around, it's about 3 by 3, right? So it's like a 3-foot diameter sphere, or circle rather.
I call the Wyloch. Is this Numenera?
No,
it's not. Okay, nope. So I'm cool with that.
Cool.
I am pleased by that knowledge.
So Zariff, I know you like doors. So there is the double door in front of you. There's a path that you can kind of walk through, basically on the opposite side of where the alcove was, but you kind of have to walk side along. Like, you can't walk straight down it. You kind of have to shift sideways. And I assume you would have, like, kind of peeked your head that way, and there is a small single door halfway down that side shimmy kind of hallway. And there is something past that hallway. You just haven't been down that far to see it.
Okay. All right. Well, at least there's more. I kind of thought we were dead-ended here.
Oh, no, yeah. There are several other doors.
All right. So is this somewhere that you feel confident that we should rest at?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking the group. Yeah, I know you want to rest, Wyloch, but I don't know how Arri and Silica feel.
I think this place is as safe as any. We've vetted it. We've dealt with whatever that water creature was. It seems like if we're going to take a rest, now's the time to do it.
Okay.
What killed those two guys? And I point to those bodies.
We haven't determined that yet.
Nope. Anyone who would like to attempt to determine that can roll me an intelligence difficulty 4.
Maybe we should figure that out before because if there's giant pincer holes in their necks or something.
Alternatively, I hold up the ester glass.
You're just really excited to use that, aren't you? It's the second time.
Never mind.
All right, so I take a look.
So you see no discernible wounds on them. You see that their skin is emaciated, and your best guess, judging by what you can see on them, is either starvation or dehydration.
So my guess is, they buried the queen down here and gave their life in service. I mean, they're dressed kind of, similar to way some of the Aeon priests that are more humble would dress.
All right, so it doesn't sound like we have to worry about a big scary monster coming to get us.
I mean, and I went over and looked at them, kind of, move some things around. If they were going to get up, I think they would have done so already.
That's a fair assessment.
So,
right. If you want to rest, Wyloch, we can take a rest.
Yeah, so I guess in the meta here, my objective is to at least pour through them and then use my meditation, my 10-hour rest, whatever, and hope that I can marinate on it in parallel and maybe wake up or come to with some revelation.
Sure. So what I will need you to do is roll me a difficulty 4 intelligence check. I will say you have 1 asset, and you guys may take up to your 10-minute rest and recover all rests as needed.
Well, he was saying he was doing the 10-hour rest is what he wanted.
That's what I meant to say. I said 10-minute, I meant 10-hour.
Mike.
Yes, that's me.
This is a workshop.
It is.
With tools.
There is.
That sounds like an asset to repairing my arm.
It does.
Yes. All right.
Yep. You have the full capability to repair your arm and 1 asset. You may get up to and recover those top 5.
Nice.
Heck yeah. What, if anything, are the rest of you guys doing on this long rest?
Well, having done a number of puzzles and what have you, I don't know whether puzzles is going to count as searching or whether that would be something else. But since this is a new day, I could allocate my flex to whatever would be the most appropriate towards helping Wyloch uncover, what these papers say, and I will assist him as best as possible.
What I call that? Yeah, you for sure can do that. So Wyloch, did you already roll your intelligence?
Yes.
And you succeeded?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
No, then you didn't need me.
Nope.
I kick back.
I was gonna say,
yeah. So if you'd like to reassign that flex skill, you can do so.
Okay. Well, I'll just assist him, and honestly, I don't know what I need it for at the moment. It's
okay.
I'll think while you guys discuss.
Also, what's my recovery for my? It's an intelligence check to repair my arm, but I forget the difficulty.
Difficulty 3.
3?
Yeah,
okay.
And you have 1 asset for the tools around you.
Thank you.
So after 10 hours of rest, study, discussion, etc., you find the following 5 pieces of useful information inside.
Do you want to re-roll that, sir?
No, because I'm gonna do my 10-hour rest now. Well, yeah, I'm gonna spend an XP and re-roll that.
Go for it. Same asset applies. You find the following 5 pieces of actionable information. Yeah. You find that some sort of transportation device is required to get into the Queen's tomb, and that it is activated by a yellow button.
The device is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A button.
Yep. Or a
Well, I don't
yellow.
even know.
We'll call it a yellow trigger because that sounds like a better word. You must be blessed by Arturi to enter the tomb. There is a statue of the Queen that acts as a potent guardian to said tomb. There is an area beyond the tomb that is home to creatures not of this world.
So don't go past the tomb. Got it.
And the last thing we did was make sure the elevator would not return.
I'm sorry, what?
The last thing we did was make sure the elevator would not return.
That's what the guards, okay. They broke the elevator. I want to go poke the jelly button.
The jelly button is on the inside of the tomb upstairs.
It's upstairs.
It's on the inside of the sarcophagus.
I pull out my
Okay.
score sheet and change it. Zariff 2, me 9.
What is what does this mean?
It means you were right and he was
Trap
wrong.
down here.
The elevator doesn't go back up.
All right, so I share all of this information, the 5th point, with a bit of a pause and sheepishness with everybody.
Absolutely.
All right, so blessed by Artori to enter.
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of the death god that we believe we encountered earlier?
Artori,
Arturi.
god of necromancy.
Yes.
The little beetle thing that stabbed me in the back.
Yes. Blessed you.
Sure, it hurt. So have to press the yellow trigger. Have to ride a vehicle.
Which is activated by a yellow trigger.
And what was the 5th one?
There is an area beyond the tomb, home to creatures not of this world. And there is a statue of the Queen, which is a potent guardian to the tomb. No idea if that's the body we moved earlier or not.
I mean, if anything was a statue of the Queen that we would have encountered already, it would be the door statue. But I think we can safely say at this point that was maybe a false tomb.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's not a
tomb.
statue. I'm gonna say that we haven't seen that statue yet.
Yeah.
I know it's a potent guardian. Well, I'm hoping that it will acknowledge Silica and we don't have to fight it.
Arri is thinking really hard, and he turns to the rest of you and he's like, what about the lily? That was a statue that moved.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a statue of the Queen, though. Thinking back, it didn't look like Silica, right?
It did not.
Yeah, so I'm going to say if it's a statue of the Queen, it didn't look like the Queen. And most of the time, they if you're doing something as an homage to someone of importance, you really want it to look like them.
Although I think I like where Ari's going with this. It might be a Numeneran type something like the lily was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they might end up just being a similar kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so do we think that this floaty disc is the vehicle with which the notes speak?
It can't be. No yellow trigger was required to make it move.
And I think the thing to really consider is in order to get in, you have to be blessed by Artori. Does that mean the first person or the only person?
I can't tell from the rest of this.
I'm just curious.
Well, luckily we have you.
Well,
I
absolutely.
will gladly send you to wherever we need to in order to accomplish our mission.
No, I'm no stranger to this kind of stuff, so I don't have a problem doing it.
Great.
So anything else memory-wise for this place, or that was just fleeting?
That was it. That was fleeting.
Okay. So I'm ready to move on.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Zariff found a shimmy place that we can get to that might be our way out of here since the elevator no longer works.
So, in the main chamber where you find the floating disc, there is a double door right in front of you guys. There's the shimmy side, and then halfway down the shimmy side, there's a single door, and the shimmy side continues past that and opens up, and you guys can't really see past the shimmy hallway.
All right. So
you have 3 directions you can go in.
One of them is back up, right?
No.
Oh,
that is closed off. It's not closed off, but there's no way to make that mechanism go back up. Unless you hop on Silica's floating disc and hope that she can get it to go back down.
Do we know how far the shaft is?
From you, if you kind of look up, there's no light in this room. You guys are using glow globes and stuff. So from here, it looks maybe 50 feet down.
All right. I can work with that. All right. So where are we looking to go, everyone?
I look to Wyloch.
I looked to Zariff.
I open the double doors.
Okay, awesome.
Tier 5.
Who's on third?
Yeah. So you open the double doors. Perfect. So the area, you open these double doors. This area has a heavy iron door. Like you open it into a room. It changes from the stone floor, the archaic, like almost marbled stone floor you guys are used to a metal like surface. And before you is a massive iron double door. Yep.
Pull or a push?
It doesn't look like it has any discernible direction to be pulled or pushed.
So through the doors is an antechamber with another set of double doors.
Correct.
But these are much more substantial looking.
Correct.
And is the antechamber like small, like in a little 5-foot square?
No, it's about 10 feet by 15 feet long. It's like you've entered into a hallway.
Oh, it's not a hallway. It's not a room. What is this?
Or traps. Diff.
Are there any like markings, any more murals or things of that nature that continue into this room, or?
Roll me a intelligence difficulty 3. If you have assets in searching, you may do so. You see that along the ceiling, there seem to be ever so slight like scrape marks, like this door goes up somehow.
I point that out to Arri, since this seems like a big door that's going to need a lot of force.
I'm willing to try, but I don't know if I can lift this thing.
I mean, with you and I together in our might score, I mean, our muscles, I think I'd like to think we can give it the old college try.
Sure.
So
try and lift this, like, I don't know. Is it like a garage door open scrapes, or is it more like
it looks like it lifts up into the ceiling? Would be your guess.
Into the ceiling. Okay.
So
now, I will let you all know, like these kind of things, they have the possibility of, there being traps or like weight can get added. So if we're trying to get through this, when you guys have it up high enough, we're going to have to be ready to, if necessary, dive through.
Okay. In that case, just
So-
in case this is like a quick action thing, I want to make sure that I take the glass disc with me somehow. Can I strap it to myself, sort of like Captain America style shield, like bandolier, like shoulder bag kind of?
You can find a way to do that. However, it still remains hovering off the ground. And when you strap it to yourself, even if you like pull it down to your level, you don't move any faster than the disc ever moved.
But I want my
Okay.
toy.
I will take an intelligence 4 from Zariff.
You'll take
Actually,
it.
I'll say intelligence 3. So a 4 with an asset for your backstory.
Okay.
If you
Help
could
me
please.
out here, Zariff, so I can take this with me.
Yep.
No.
I got nothing.
So do we want to leave this door for the moment and head down the shimmy walkway where we have to move slow anyway?
I mean, I'm fine giving this the old college try. I was thinking you might look for traps beforehand, but
I'm willing to look. I just don't know. With these kind of things, the thing goes up, and if there's something in the wall, I'm not really going to be able to see it.
there's something in the wall, you can't see it. I don't understand.
Like if you lift it up and something shoots out, you can't tell.
Oh, okay.
Or like you lift up and it triggers the extra weight to come down and secure it in place, or what have you.
I
Okay.
think we won't know until we try. So I think we should at least try to open it and see what happens without necessarily diving through. We don't want to like dive right into danger.
Especially because we might get stuck on the other side.
Right. We just want to see what's over there. So, Arri, you want to do this? Let's do
Yep.
this. Yeah. So I like hype him up. I'm like, come on, Arri. Yeah, let's
Arri.
do this. Like, we got this.
Yeah.
And, we're going to try to lift this door. We're just-
Okay. So
Yeah.
who's primarily rolling here?
I think Arri is
me,
stronger.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. So if Silica's helping you, you have one asset. This is a difficulty 7 might check.
Ho.
Now, does he have proficiency from
Lifting
doing
doors?
all that heavy labor?
He
Flash
does not.
the robotic arm. Can
He
I get
does
a
not.
bonus or something because of the arm?
You do not. You get a bonus from her helping you and any might points you want to spend to throw into this. Unfortunately, this is a massive iron door, and it is just physical strength that's going to lift this thing off the
I mean, I say like just
I tried.
give it. Oh, okay. Well,
He gave it the college try. He got close.
Yeah.
But you get under there and you can feel it move. Like it goes up. But this is huge. This is like it's the equivalent of like lifting up a car today. This is a massive, and the whole thing feels like solid metal.
All right. So there's probably some other way to open this besides using brute force. We need to just find that thing.
Also, chat has it out for you, Ari.
Yeah, they do.
This is rough.
Yep. So where are you guys headed to now?
I'm just not bringing attention to it, hoping that. But I see you've been interacting with him, so. Let's go to the shimmy hallway, I guess.
That's the only other place that we can go, right? I mean, there's like halfway down the shimmy hallway and then all the way down the shimmy hallway.
Mhm. Yeah, there's a door
So-
halfway down, and then there's something beyond that.
Can I drag the disc behind me?
Uh,
if it's like,
so-
if it's vertical, if I
you
moved it
can. You'll
vertical
be going last because again, it only moves at that one pace.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Is the disc a solid a solid circle, or is it like a disc that has a hole in the middle?
Solid circle, solid like a dinner plate, but flat.
Okay. All right. I was trying to say how you might be able to fasten something to be able to make it easier to.
Oh, you can easily fasten it. Like, I'm not gonna fight you on that. You can tie rope to it and strap it to your back. The problem is you're moving at the speed of the disc, not at the speed of you. The disc only seems to go at a certain rate of speed.
Yeah, it has like an inertial force or something. So it's like no matter how hard I pull on it, it's just gonna go that
just
speed.
one speed. So if you strap it to you, which is fine, you're not gonna be able to quickly get under the door. You'll be going at the speed of the disc.
Right.
Yeah, so who is leading the charge to shimmy down this hallway? Of course. And Silica, you are obviously last because you are pulling that disc with you wherever you go. Do you stop? So Zariff, do you stop at the door or do you pass all the way through to the other side of the hallway?
You don't walk past the door without taking a look inside.
Okay.
If there's a window you want to be able to look through, and if it's just solid, you sit and you listen.
Yeah. This is a solid wooden door, plain handle. You kind of give it a jiggle. It's locked. No noise emits from inside this thing.
All right. I haven't really, busted these guys out in a while, so I'm gonna attempt to pick the lock.
Okay. It is a speed difficulty 5 check. If you have lockpicking or lockpicking tools, you may use an asset for that.
So would sneaking, climbing, I would think that I would have had something like this to.
I'll tell you what, because I'm feeling gregarious today. You have a flex skill.
All right. Well.
You and your dollar words, sir.
All right. So I don't know where to put flex skill in.
We'll just call it an extra asset.
All right. So then I'm just rolling dex.
Yeah. So speed. I'll say you have simple tools. We'll call those lockpicks. So I'll give you 2 assets for this.
Okay.
And it's difficulty 5.
Wish I had 2 assets to open the door.
Sorry, man.
But you got 1 asset. You got 1.
Bam.
Wow. So you deftly maneuver these tools, not meant for this job, into this lock, and you hear an initial click as you begin to open the door, as you begin to trigger the lock mechanism. You feel pressure on your makeshift tools, and with that mini crit there, you actually continue feeling something off, and you hear click, 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 and you get 4 more clicks out of this, almost as if you disabled something that was waiting for you on the other side of the door. And then it swings open. And before you see that this room, the walls are brick. The floor is made out of this weird warped wooden planks. And in the center of the room, like a horizontal ship's wheel, is a large iron wheel positioned in a way that would... And you actually see that there's 2 chains that run from this thing into the wall.
So how big is the room?
This room is, as you kind of step in, it's about 20 feet wide by 15 feet deep.
All right, so plenty of room for everyone to come in and
be
able to look at it. So there is a wheel that's chained to the wall.
It's sticking up out of the floor like a dinner table, right? And there is a chain that's wrapped around it, like around its base, that sinks into the wall, and the chain disappears into the wall.
Like a ski lift, sort of.
Mm-hmm. Or a portcullis.
This will open the door.
That's a good guess.
I'm trying to what the frick is this? It's been a long day, guys.
What's the benefit of Numenera? It's like things you've never seen before. How do I explain portcullis? Giant wheel with chains into the wall, doing chain things.
So if we think this opens the door, do we wish to open that door, or do we wish to go see what else is down this hall?
Absolutely, we do.
I agree with Wyloch. We should continue. Yeah,
I'm like, I said an or, and he's saying yes.
Yes. No. Now that we know how that iron door works, I think I'm curious to continue down. Although they really wanted to keep us out of there. So that's probably where the important things are.
This was not a simple lock, so it is possible, but I dislike leaving things unexplored.
Someone's played a Legend of Link.
So, all right, Zariff, then we will continue. I'm just not. Let's continue exploring what we can, but let's not lose our way here.
Absolutely.
If you're saying this door was booby trapped, then it was important enough to protect it, which means whatever it affects is probably in the end going to be our goal.
I think you're correct, but there might be more clues. There might be something of value further on. I mean, had we gotten through that doorway, it might not have been an issue. But here we find that there's the opening of the doorway. What if we have to backtrack and come back because there's yet another door like this?
All right. I'm saying we go. I say we continue exploring then.
So I will, set back out and go back down the shimmying
hallway. Cool. So as you all begin to pile out in the hallway and shimmy back down, you are met with Zariff. You are met with a room that is from where you shimmy out. It's about 15 feet to your left, and it extends probably about 25 feet in its length. And you see not quite a mirror image of the embalming room from upstairs, but you see what clearly looks to be of similar style. Only the table in the center is made of like very nice stone, very well cut. It's not wooden cabinets, they're stone cabinets, almost as if they're built into the wall itself. It looks to be maybe marble. Everything is like sort of that weird gleaming shiny surface, except for the floor and certain corners and certain where the seams in the wall are. You see this weird, like, not quite pulsating, but definitely like slowly throbbing, like slime ichor just on the walls. What do you guys do in this room?
I want to keep my eyes towards, or at least part of my attention towards this pulsating slime.
Mm-hmm.
But you said there's, stone cabinets. That means there's potentially something in them.
Sure. So you guys going over to the stone cabinets?
I will.
Okay. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Spider sense up.
Okay. What are you searching for? Just Numenera or anything you can?
Trying to sense Numenera.
Okay. You roll me a Numenera difficulty 4. Zariff, roll me searching difficulty 4. Silica and Arri, what are you doing?
Now, mind you, part of my searching will be to make sure that I'm not going to miss traps.
Not going to get covered in goo? Yeah.
Is the goo centralized in a location on the wall, or is it over the whole wall?
No, it's like
a thin film.
Imagine a brick wall. You know where the seams are in a brick wall? It seems to be like oozing out of the seams in the brick wall when you see it. But it's in like patches. But they all seem to congregate, like mold almost, out of these seams.
Okay.
So what are the two of you doing, Arri and Silica?
It's a good question.
I want to take a closer look at the embalming table, or what I am starting to think is probably an embalming table, and see if there's any clues to anything
Sure.
piquing my interest there.
Difficulty 4 searching, so intelligence. Arri, what about you?
I will take out one of my repair tools, maybe like a screwdriver or something like that,
Sure.
and I'm going to poke this mold, this slime, see if it reacts.
Dope. Okay, so we'll start with Silica. You see nothing crazy. So the two of you, Silica and Zariff, you see that on the table there is a chiseled 9-petaled rose. And you see that the glass vials here are not the same glass vials you saw upstairs. These seem to be crystalline. They seem to be like fine china version of these. Like, they're nice if you were to be able to keep on. They're obviously full with some kind of acrid embalming fluid, right? But if you were to keep them, they're nice glass. They could probably sell for a penny in a market. Wyloch, you are trying to identify Numenera and things around you. You don't. There's nothing here that strikes as Numenera, obviously, besides the ever-present, like, pulsing feeling pulling you. But the tug you get is back towards the iron door. So something beyond there is Numeneran, not here.
So how many of these crystal vials are there?
There are far too many for you to put in a bag. So you can grab as many as you feasibly think you can fit in a backpack, and empty them out of acrid liquids.
All right, I will just grab a handful. You know,
there's appropriate stoppers that you can put in there if you want to like have vials to scoop up weird things. Okay, so Arri, you're my favorite. So you go over there and poke this with a screwdriver.
Yep.
Cool. So you poke it, and your screwdriver immediately begins to sizzle as you kind of jab into this thing, and you see it pulsate and begin to pulsate faster and faster around the edge of the screwdriver itself, and then you see it just sort of it pops like a pustule, and then all of you can kind of see the other ones begin to vibrate, and then they all begin to pop. And I need everyone in the room.
Don't breathe! I yell.
To make me a might defense 3. Success. Failure.
That's okay. I went through all the steps.
There you go.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, I was just thinking, should we make her die?
Yep.
Yes, we should.
Cool. So, Arri, you see this thing begin, and you even before, like your thought process is, oh no, it's pulsating, and then you immediately cover your mouth, and then it pops, and then you hear, don't breathe, and you're like, oh no. So you're fine. Nothing happens to you. Silica, unfortunately, your mouth was open as you yelled, don't breathe, and you breathed. So you and Wyloch will take 1 point of might damage.
So I was keeping an eye on these things. So when they started pulsing, I might not have seen these things before, but I've been around the block. I put the cloak over the face, totally vampiring it.
Yeah.
I deliberately inhaled for science.
Did you?
For science.
It tastes like burning when you breathe it in.
Tastes like burning.
It hurts. It hurts a lot. You just drank some weird acid.
Oh, come on. It hurts just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if you just down hot sauce, then you get that like full throat burn. It's very unpleasant. This acrid like pollen, right, does not leave the room. It continues to float about.
So I think it's time to beat feet. Back up and
Wait, is there a forward exit or that we no?
This seems to be the embalming chamber.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So this is the second embalming chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the real one based off of like how much fancier it was, plus like the actual 9-petaled rose being here.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an 8-petaled rose on the embalming chamber upstairs?
There was not. There was no rose at all. The only rose you saw was on the door leading into the tomb.
All right, so we head back to the stone chain room, and
good call.
Can we figure out what is the correct direction to move this thing?
Easily. In fact, I need whoever is yanking the chain, so to speak. It's a might difficulty 4, and if Ari's doing it and Silica's helping, it's an asset. So whoever's doing that, it's a difficulty 4 with an asset.
Right? With
ship's wheel.
Mm-hmm. Can't all of us help?
Yeah.
Heave ho.
Yep.
Oh,
so
cool,
if all of you are pulling on this, whoever's rolling, that's 2 assets.
Because apparently, like I count for 1, and both of you together count for 1.
Count for
so.
1, yeah.
I'm rolling unless somebody else wants to do this.
Yeah, you're rolling because you're the one that.
You're the strong man.
Yeah.
Success.
Yay.
So easily, you guys collectively, and you hear like the clink, 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 clink of the chains begin to move, and you hear the groan and creak of gears as you can hear the iron sliding against this weird metallic stone room as it until it hits. The moment you begin to let go, you hear the begin to slide back down.
Do we have any sense of how fast it's sliding back down? Because like the wheel is turning, and we can like time that against how.
Yes.
How hard is it to hold?
Not very. One of you could hold it, or you could jam it with something. And to answer your question, Silica, it's not fast. It is too fast for you to get that disc out of here.
Okay.
I walk back out to the.
You knew what I was getting at, so you guys can give me a head start, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Never mind. I'm not going out there alone. I'm not giving that one away. I am not that dumb.
Here, the chain just shattered.
All right.
I
So
elbow Arri and then walk out to the main foyer and grab one of the dead bodies and start dragging it into this room.
Gross. Okay. Yeah, you totally do.
that is all kinds of ugly sacrilege.
Arri, do you help the
Uh,
other body?
I don't like the bodies. I'm gonna be honest. I'll help you spiritually. I'll go with you, and then I'll be like, I mean, maybe if you grab it by the feet.
What about the stone and metal tools that are over by the builders, which are closer than the fragile human remains? Just throwing a thought out there before we desecrate the dead.
All right,
Was there
I
anything that
turn-
we saw in the builder's room that would have been? Is it just like throws? Okay.
There are enough tools
Throw the
that you're
body
sure
down
you
in
can figure it out.
exasperation.
Yeah. Fine. Mom said I couldn't play with the corpse.
An arm breaks off, flies up.
Scatters. You give it to Arri in replacement for his arm.
I'm so confused what's wrong with Wyloch since we got down here, because he has just been sassing me.
Picking up corpses.
Just somebody woke up on the wrong side of the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there a metal bar or
Yeah.
something? In that
Yep,
tool?
there are enough objects in the workshop that you could make something to jam through this. I will require a strength a might check to jam it in there. So whoever's doing that, I will also call it a difficulty 4 to smash this thing in there some way, right? You're either gonna like smash it through some gears, through the chains, and sort of like a club, right? Like the old car thing, or like find a way to embed it in the ground to stop it from. So yeah, it's gonna be a difficult go of
So
it. But you can.
what if we got like a metal pole and I kind of put it through the chain and the wheel, and then I bend it to like hold it in place?
Yeah. Yep. Difficulty 4. And I'll let you use breaking things.
Oh, thank you. That's even better.
Nice.
I love the naming of stuff in Numenera.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm trained in breaking things.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you
wow.
jam this thing through one of the through one of the handles, right, into the chain, and you sort of and you bend it around, and it like click, 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 it starts to lower back down, and you it catches on the spoke.
With a failure?
Don't question. Just go. We're going, right?
If it's holding, then we're gonna go.
What's the
So-
order?
I want to try to scoot my little scooty disc through first.
Scooty disc. Okay.
What? I think this might be important. They talked about a transportation device, and
It
this
did.
is obviously a transportation device.
I'm laughing at the fact that you called it a scooty disc. So you
Technical.
the technical term, Silica's scooty disc. It's like Tensor's floating disc, but different. So you scoot the scooty disc under the. It's probably about like a quarter of the way down after it like spun out. So you are able to get your slow self through. So I assume you're getting through first to make sure you're safe, and then allowing everyone to follow you.
Yeah, very closely behind though. They are right behind me.
So
right,
what,
guys?
what is the order of march?
I'll go next.
And then
I'll go last.
okay. Oh. Okay.
Unless you want to fight for it.
I'll go third.
So, Arri, take an XP.
Okay.
And give one to someone else.
Ugh, okay. Wyloch, you look like you need an XP.
Okay.
Done.
Because you really wanted to go fourth.
So chat had it out for you, Arri, and I'm sorry, but when chat wills it, things get done. Silica, you make it through slow and steady like a turtle with the giant plate on your back. And Zariff, you go in afterwards, and you sort of take that protective stance you take. Wyloch, you make it through, and as you turn back to make sure Ari's getting through, you hear twang, click, 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 and the thing begins to jam down. You can make a speed defense or a speed check for me. It's difficulty 4, Arri.
Okay.
As this thing is closing, separating you from your friends.
Okay.
If anyone would be so brave as to reach back through and attempt to pull him,
That's what I was just going to ask.
you can give him an asset.
Think of me like Indiana Jones's hat on the other side of that falling down thing. You just got to grab it quick.
Can I pull some gymnastic feet to get back to the door and just like reach out and try to pull him through?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Just,
you can.
like,
You can give him an asset. You can do
You're
some kind of.
like-
You let go of the disc and you sort of dive back through and you sort of grab him and help him pull through. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get an asset for this speed to try to make your way through.
I like
Here
the
we
Indiana
go.
Jones hat reference. Like perfect.
Okay.
Yay!
I was so nervous.
Ooh, you are grabbed as you hear the click click click. You sort of crouch low and you dive for it, and you feel Silica's tiny but strong arms grab you and begin to throw you through this thing. And as your boot barely crests the other side, this thing slams down mere inches from the sole of your boot, and you are through, safe.
Whew.
Trapped.
Well, no more trapped than you were before.
Metal bars, they said.
So yeah, now
Right, so
Question: if I spend effort, how much am I lowering? I
3.
forget.
3 for
Three?
every 1 effort you spend.
Okay.
if you have edge in that particular stat, you reduce it by 1 for every edge point you have.
That's what I needed to know. Thank
Yep.
you very much for that.
But that's cumulative. So if you spend 2 effort, it's not 4, it's 5. Does that make sense?
I think so, but I can't spend 2 effort, correct? Because I'm not level 2,
Correct.
Yeah. More
or I
less.
haven't
haven't-
used
you haven't
my
bought that
experience
yet.
to up that yet.
Yeah.
We're not tier 2, so we can't have 2 edge, we can't have 2 effort.
So you guys have made it past this strange door. This definitely not trapped door. You guys are totally fine. And beyond that, there is a second door. There are metal walls, and this door seems to almost come out of the walls itself, like it's one seamless piece, and it closes in a weird spiral shape, like a nautilus shell.
Third set of doors.
All right, so I want to, first off, we get Wyloch to make sure his, lady magic goes up if it's not already, and then I want to look around.
I
Sure.
also have a glow globe. Like, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah. You have it out most of the time.
I don't know how long those things last. So I've.
They're like
Actually,
a Dungeons and Dragons torch forever, right?
Oh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Someone has a source of light, and if I don't think you do, I'll tell you it's dark, and then you have one out. So yeah, it is lit in here. You guys are able to see here, and you see this spiral door like a nautilus shell. So what are you guys doing?
I'm looking around and see if there's any traps, see if there's anything of note or.
Okay. Roll me difficulty 4 searching.
I'm slowly scooting my disc to the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm. You don't step on anything. Are you on the disc, slowly urging it forward with your mind?
I'm still trying.
Okay.
Now that we're in a new room.
Yeah, you totally can. This room here is only maybe 10 feet by 15 feet.
Oh, okay, so I don't have a lot of room to.
No, you can kind of scoot back and forth a little bit and get your practice in.
I'm practicing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I figure I can't trigger anything.
The weirdest thing you figure out about this room, Zariff, is it looks completely clean.
So there's no dust like the other rooms have been.
Nope.
Any ventilation system that would,
No, there's nothing. It seems to be all one piece of metal, like almost like a tube, like a square tube, right? And it ends in a door that is also square and has like a circular spiral out motion. You can see the slits in it as if it were like opens like an iris, like a camera's lens.
How many pieces?
Like 16.
I was thinking along the same lines. Like, are there any markings or notches on
Nope,
the
just the segments of the iris.
Mm-hmm. And there's no obvious buttons just lying around waiting to be pressed?
No.
All right.
So I'm going to if I remember, it's like, they're all pointed towards the center if I've got so I want to touch the door.
Okay. You touch the door, and then the non-existent seam that connects the ceiling to the top of the door begins to glow red. And you guys all watch as a beam of light shoots out, narrows, and seems to rise up and down Zariff before widening back out and then disappearing. And then the door iris is open.
Arri does a slow clap. He's really impressed.
It said one must be blessed by our Tori to enter.
Okay, so but that was like the third clue. So these clues are not in order, which I kind of had assumed that they were.
I don't think there was anything that said that they were going to follow suit. We had a random sheet of pages.
Yeah, that's true. Silica, not so smart, but I had made an assumption.
Pretty personable. Can't win them all. Okay, cool. So you guys see on the other side of this iris door, there is a long hallway with lavish paintings, and there's like wooden and synth frames around these things. Like this is a pretty attractive room here. There's black and white tile on the floor. There's a little bit matted red carpet that runs through the middle of this room. There's a massive set of hanging crystal chandeliers. Probably about 3/4 of the way to halfway down the room, the carpet runs to the foot of a beautiful marble statue of the queen looking very imperious. What do you guys do?
Well, that is going to be our potent guardian.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, Silica, you're up.
Talk to it.
Well, okay, but like sense of self-preservation kicking in for once. Why do we think that I have to talk to it? Just the bloodline thing?
Bloodline thing, yeah.
Bloodline thing, okay.
Does
the door close behind us?
No.
Oh, darn. I kind of wanted to test something. Oh, well. Do you sense any traps, Zariff, with your trap senses?
Without looking, I'm going to say the statue's going to get up and try and kick our ass. But let me take a look.
And is there a door beyond it in the room that it's in?
There is not a door. The hallway continues past the statue.
Am I rolling? And if so, at difficulty 4?
Yeah, you can roll, and it will be difficulty 4. Yeah.
This game just GMs itself.
Mm-hmm. I'm just here to tell you the cool things you see. Your senses prevail. That's a trap. Other than that, there are, like I said, there's gorgeous chandeliers, right? These lavish chandeliers. The paintings here are unlike the paintings you've seen throughout the rest of this place. Whatever this room is, whatever they've done here, they're preserved. These paintings, they look like oil on canvas paintings. Very fine quality, very intricately carved framework around them. And they depict various subjects, pastoral scenes, kind of like the faux tomb upstairs, portraits, the queen's palace, the queen in different states of dress and leisure.
All right, so beyond the fact that I think the statue's going to get up and try to beat us,
That's
there's
really
no other
it.
traps.
That's
Okay.
all you got. What are the rest of you guys doing?
So
at chat recommendation, I'm gonna go out of phase and just see what this place looks like from the 8th dimension.
Okay, Numenera 4, check for me.
So you said the statue is white marble, similar to what we saw in the embalming room.
Correct.
Is that any different than what the lily was made of?
You're not entirely sure. No one got, I mean, you guys got close enough, but no one full-on inspected her. She seemed to be out of some white stone, but her stone was all cracked and held together by, like, this blue liquid that sort of dripped down her.
Got it.
So it looks like basically if you took a statue and knocked it over and then just glued the pieces back together, that's kind of what it looked like.
Glue it back poorly.
Yeah. But she also had experienced the elements, so there was like bits of mold and just stuff on her. So it's hard to tell exactly what stone, and Arri didn't take the time to go and inspect the stone.
Yeah, no worries.
So you rolled well. That statue is Numenera. The entirety of it.
That statue is Numenera.
Do you have the power to stop Numenera?
To stop?
Like,
can you elaborate?
Can you make it not get up and smack us?
Like nullify its Numeneran effects.
There you
if I'm
go.
understanding correctly.
Like put out your hand and go, Numenera, be gone, and see what happens.
I don't know if that's in my capabilities.
You've done a lot of weird stuff, Wyloch, so I wasn't ruling that out. I was kind of hoping.
It's fair.
How big is said statue?
It's on a plinth, so it rises in total off the ground about 12 feet.
Is it 12 feet tall, or like is the actual statue portion like my size?
No, there is a plinth on the ground that raises about 3 feet, and the statue makes up the other 9 feet.
Oh, okay, so it's a tall girl. All right.
Now, to be clear, you said we're in a new corridor. There's a room off to the side of the corridor.
No, you're in a corridor, and it sort of bows out like an oval, and that's where the paintings are, like a gallery. There are hanging chandeliers, and on the opposite end from you, there is a statue, and then you can see beyond the statue, the hallway continues, but your glows don't extend that far. To see what's beyond that.
All right. Guys, we can just go around it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to... I don't think it's going to just let us go by.
What if we're really polite and I walk up to the statue and I bow?
How close do you get to the statue?
I get about 4 feet away.
Okay.
So
you hear in a large booming voice, or a loud booming voice, you see the eyes light up red, and you hear in a voice that's not too unlike Silica's, but even more,
Choose your words carefully. Even more what?
Stern.
More stern and of noble descent. Even more uppity is the word I wanted to use. You hear, "Defile not my final rest. Flee now while you have your life. It is the only treasure worth keeping."
I turn back and I say, she's not wrong, guys. My life's worth quite a bit to me.
And you see the eyes flare red. And everyone watches on in horror as 2 beams of light shoot out of the eyes and directly into Arri.
Oh.
Arri, you take 6 intelligence damage. And it ignores armor.
Oh,
okay.
wow.
I run back far, far away.
Seeing Arri get beamed upside the head, literally, I have dashed forward the disc left behind at this point because I need to move quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's already moving back, and I kind of pull him even like faster, like get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it seems like the most likely answer is that I'm going to have to deal with this somehow. So,
well, oddly enough, as you run up there to grab Arri and sort of toss him out of the way, the beams shoot out and hit him, and then you see the eyes flare up, just like they did for him, as you stand there, seemingly like they are about to shoot out and charge up to you as well. So what would you like to do?
I want to touch it.
Okay. So you walk confidently up there and touch this thing?
Oh, I'm moving quickly because if need be, I will use my gymnast-like qualities to jump and dash and dive and roll out of the way if necessary.
So not yet. But what do you do when you get up there? The eyes are still fiery glow.
Besides the touching?
Mm-hmm. You think it was going to be that easy?
No. So I lay my hand on the statue and I say, "Your purpose is met. I have come to reclaim what is rightfully mine." But in like the most kind of mimicking the same voice that it emitted, the tone, the regality, and with as much authority as I can possibly muster. This is where my BS skill
okay.
play.
Roll me BS difficulty 5.
BS difficulty 5. All right, and I'm putting the effort into this.
So I want to, from a safe distance, I want to. You can spend an XP and reroll.
Oh, so I'm sorry. You can re-roll for free right now because by BS, your pleasant conversation skill comes into play here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an. I should just roll with that.
Yeah,
that's what
I assume that's what you meant by your BS skill.
Sorry.
Your literal BS skill.
I did, but I definitely still rolled the wrong one. So
better the second time.
Much.
So what were you doing, Zariff? Just to be...
I want to look around. It is quite possible that the yellow trigger might be in this room. And, we don't know what's going to do what. So I'm trying to be as useful as possible. And I'm searching. It could be on the statue. It could be behind the statue. Not that I'm planning to get that close.
Sure.
Could be on a painting. Could be on the wall. I'm trying to look and make use of my time while
she's talking to rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me difficulty 4. Intelligence searching. That's a good move. You reach up there, place your hand on the pedestal. And you tell the stone that its purpose has been served, and you're here to reclaim. Okay. You see the eyes flare red, and the place where the queen's feet are begin to and slowly turn. And you see it do a full 360 sweep of this room. And then it clicks and locks back into place in the same direction it was facing when it zapped Arri, and the eyes they turn off.
I think we can proceed safely now.
Zariff, you do not see a yellow trigger button or mechanism here, although upon further inspection, once the eyes turn off, you're pretty sure you can fetch a pretty penny for these paintings.
Yeah, even if I was interested in hauling paintings out of here, I really don't think that Silica would be happy with that.
I don't know what you want to do.
All the grave robbing. I don't know. Right. Come on, boys. Let's move it. I'm emboldened by this situation now, and just sort of like like, I'm here to claim what's rightfully mine. I believe what I just said. And like,
Now you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
yep, I have
sure.
drunk the Kool-Aid.
For sure.
Yep,
So,
Wounded, and he's just kind of walking up to Silica, and he's like, "It looked into my soul," like just not happy at all.
Pat him on the shoulder. It's gonna be all right.
I too will approach Silica. Well done.
Good thinking. Step 2 was hit that chandelier and everyone gets zapped. So you guys proceed beyond the statue? Is that what I'm to infer here?
Indeed.
Okay. So you guys proceed past this, and much like it began with a 15-foot metal corridor and then to this lavish setup, it ends in a 15-foot corridor. Only this time, this metal hallway is bisected by a deep, dark chasm. A thin rope bridge with old wooden planks stretches across the expanse, secured to the sides with powerful spikes driven into the ancient metal. The chasm looks to be 70, 80 feet across, and the bottom fills with gears and other bits of machinery. What are you guys doing?
I'm grabbing my glass disc.
That's what I expected to hear.
That rope bridge? No. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah, definitely no.
Can two people fit on the disc?
It is a 3-foot diameter disc, so it would be very tight for you to fit 2 people on there.
Maybe if she lets you sit on her lap.
You can hug the whole way across.
No, this is definitely not happening. But I am certain we can figure out some sort of rigging around it so that we can pull it back and forth across the chasm. Once one person makes it across, use a rope to pull it back. The next person can come across. Is what I'm.
Haven't we done something like this without the thing? You know, I went across, secured the rope. You guys.
Yeah. Sure. If there's, do you see a place that you can shoot an arrow into that's going to hold us? And
well, no, I figured I would just cross and tie the rope.
But we know we need a transportation device. There might be something important going on there.
Also, it's 70 feet across, but probably not 70 feet down, which means if it goes out and we're on the rope, we may swing, but we're still going to hit the bottom.
That is true.
Roll me a difficulty 5 search or intelligence if you don't have any kind of searching abilities. Anyone who would like to.
Okay, I'm looking to try to get across here.
What you said? Difficulty 5?
Yeah.
All
No
you
pressure.
there.
Hey.
Okay, cool. So not only do you notice that the spikes that are in the metal are extremely sturdy and in there, you also notice that you're confident that not even Silica could cross this bridge on her own. It looks to be rigged in several places to just snap.
Oh.
So you notice that these spikes that are here were once made to make this bridge stable. Your guess is those priests probably severed parts of this to make sure no one could get this far. So if you want to find a way to secure something to these spikes, you know that those are secure at a minimum.
Okay, so wow. So first and foremost, I'm gonna take another look around and see if we can find some kind of yellow trigger.
With that search, you do not.
Okay. All right. So bridge is gonna collapse if anybody walks across it. So we could have Silica. You could ride this thing over, tie off. Are you good with knots?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've been on a boat, we've fallen through pits. Like I've picked up a few things, right, from you. You've taught me some stuff.
I think you tied off the boat.
Fire.
I think you tied off the boat.
I tied off the boat.
So you could ride the thing over, secure the line, ride the thing back. We could secure, the disc to the rope and then be able to go back and forth.
Okay. So I jump on the glass disc and I kind of
take the end of the rope.
I scoot my way across, hovering
ever so slowly.
Slowly. I am curious as to what's going on beneath me. So I am kind of looking down, seeing if there's anything of note going on down there. If I can see it at all.
This plan seems sound to me and has very few flaws. As you look through the glass disc, you can see that there are large pieces of heavy machinery. What their purpose are is far beyond you. What you can tell is that they are not functioning. Maybe they're not functional, you're not entirely sure, but currently they are not doing anything but being large, obtrusive pieces of hulking metal that would very much hurt if you fell on top of.
Okay.
So you tie off rope to the one side. You sort of skim this this board along the bridge here. Tie off rope on the other side, and then scoot back. Now, how are you guys pulling this disc back and forth? My question.
Well, the idea was we're gonna tie the thing, tie the rope around the disc, so that when she goes across, we would then be able to pull it back.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, I see no problem with that. So you guys are able to tie it off, tie the rope up, Silica hops off one side, you pull it back. Who goes next?
Arri's in the background, like sweating and looking pretty white as a sheet. Like he's pretty freaked out.
I'm recommending I go last.
Okay. So
and Arri mumbles, I'm scared of heights.
All right.
I like that as we go further, Arri just gets scared of more things. I'm scared of statues, heights, spiders, and the ocean, lightning storms, the color blue.
I am the color blue. It's like PTSD just triggered. He'll never be the same.
Well, we've already crossed chasms, climbed buildings. You need to buck up. Unless you're staying here.
I'll go
I
next.
just yell across the chasm, "What's the hold up?"
Suck it up,
I'm gonna
kiddo.
like get on and like hug it from like all four sides, on my stomach
I
and
like
with
it.
around.
I realize like
do
as
I
he's
have to
coming
control
over.
it, or does Silica have a rope that she can pull me back?
Zariff, this is your plan. Are there two ropes on either side?
Yeah, the idea is to be able to have it that way.
Yep, then Silica pulls you all the way over as you turtle shell on the top of this thing.
I realize that he's having like fear moment, and I'm just like, oh, honey, like.
And it's awful that it's glass because I can just see through.
Yeah, it doesn't help the fear at all.
I'm trying to like keep my eyes shut.
Yeah.
Just rub his back, like as Zariff's pulling the disc away. I'm just like rubbing Arri's back, like, okay.
It's okay, buddy. So it gets back. I assume Wyloch is next, unless you want to do anything.
Unless he fights me on it.
Yeah. Wyloch, unless there's anything crazy you want to do, it's relatively safe. You guys have a pretty sound plan here to get across this thing.
All right. Yeah, nothing.
Okay. And then last but not least, pulls it back. Zariff, you get on, and the collective pulls you across.
I unsecure my end so we're not losing the rope, and guide this thing / be pulled, and undo the rope on the other side so that we again don't lose that asset.
Okay. Awesome.
I knew this thing would come in handy. I knew it.
Well done, team.
Go team. So, you guys make it to the opposite side of this metal hallway. You've passed the chasm of machinery, and this extends into a large hexagonal room. There is a dull green glow coming from this room. And as you begin to walk towards it, at the center of the room is a bizarre machine of black metal connected to 3 large organic-looking pods, or possibly egg sacs, you're not entirely sure. There are large metal tubes and plastic tubing that goes along the ceiling and runs along the bottom. There are steam vents underneath that hiss, and steam and fog rise out of this. And you see that there is a slight thrum to the green lights inside of this room. What are you guys doing?
So, could this potentially be the vehicles? Is this our next step, our next clue?
I don't know. This seems so out of place after, you know, the ornate statue hallway. And then.
Well, I mean, you've got ornate statue and flimsy rope bridge. They're
That's a good
pretty
point.
polar opposites. So I'm not all that fussed by bizarre fish-looking tubes.
All right.
Okay, cool.
I want to start inspecting the device for an on-off switch or some kind of control, anything.
Yeah, sure. You find one. As you step into the room, you hear the hiss and pop as two of the tubes disconnect, and you hear and you assume the third one behind it has also disconnected as these large green pods just sort of open and just steam or something billows out from the inside, and you see the most strange thing you've seen by far. A macabre scene of some kind of what you hope to be guardians. A large spider-like creature made entirely of human arms. A large rat-like thing with 5 legs. A creature with the body of a large insect and the head of a dog. And this massive serpent creature. And this squat, like, headless, humanoid-looking thing. And this weird, bulbous, half-bird, half-frog thing. And as you guys begin to look closely, you see that one of the arms of the giant spider thing looks shockingly like Arri's. And the rat-like thing with 5 legs has Wyloch's face on its head. The serpent-like creature has a very similar slight build to Zariff, and the squat, bulbous, bird-like thing squawks and emits a voice that sounds much like Silica's. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
No.
Yep, you get bird frog. Accept it.
I'm just waiting for the fan art. It's
Oh,
gonna be
wait,
great.
hold on. I got you. Don't worry about it.
You got art on these things, huh?
Oh,
Or a rope bridge. I didn't see that.
Like that? Oh, that one. How's that for art? Arri, on the bright side, you don't have to deal with that next week.
Yeah.
Super not your problem. Cool. So that's the weird scene you guys will be left with to have nightmares until next week. So let's go around, introduce us, hear from our sponsors, and get your thoughts on who deserves the XP tonight. We'll start with Jordan, because he's not going to be here next week. So Jordan, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
I'm Jordan. You can find me here on YouTube. Just search Forgotten Realms Explained, and I run a channel about Forgotten Realms lore, and it's really fun. I had a great time tonight. I don't know, when action gets stale, I like that Arri just kind of is like, well, I'm just going to go and do this and like open a door or something like that. So that's really fun.
Yeah.
And I love the combat in this game. Like, I think it's just narrative and fun. And it sounds like you guys are going to have a really cool combat session that I'm going to miss next week. So I'm sad because I missed the last combat.
I would say it just works out that you miss all the cool combats.
Oh, it's awful. But no, I had a great time. This is such a fun, interesting game. So
sweet.
It's going cool places.
Let's jump over to Kenny. I'm sure you'll be fine. Kenny, who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of tonight?
Oh man, so I'm Kenny Hill. You can find me here on YouTube or most likely over on twitch.tv/KENIHILL. Tonight was a roller coaster of emotion. I thought, oh, I'm going to figure out what's going on. I still have no idea what's going on. And now I'm even more confused.
I'm glad. It works out in my favor. Makes it easier for me. So we'll go over to Bill. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
Yep, I'm Bill on YouTube. I have a channel called Wyloch's Crafting Vids. And tonight was more dungeon delving, which I love. I love the exploration. The deeper we go, the more madness seems to set in, that claustrophobia. So I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. This is a pretty cool one. I like this one. I like this weird macabre thing with just gross. Look at that hand spider. Awful.
Yeah.
So we'll jump over to Ted. Who are you? Where can we find you? What did you think of tonight? And who are our sponsors?
I am Ted of Nerdarchy. You can find us here on YouTube or over on website, nerdarchy.com. Our sponsors are Archania Workshop. If you're looking for awesome 3D printed miniatures, terrain, and or dungeon tiles, it's a great resource. Their options are always growing, so please keep checking them out. We also have Dungeon Painter Studios, pyromancers.com. If you want to make some custom maps to be able to use in your game, they are a great resource.
Yeah. And what do you think of tonight?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tonight was awesome. I loved all of the different aspects of getting into a dungeon crawl without really dealing with the monsters. I liked having the little bit of clues. They're like, oh, well, you might think it's going to go this way, but it's, really that. We didn't have any horrible rolls that seriously screwed us. So I was happy to have the dice gods on our side tonight.
Yeah, I got to actually use a GM intrusion because no one rolled 6 nat 1s in a row. So that was fun for me.
Hey. My worst was only 4 nat 1s.
That's
all right.
You're right.
4.
Sorry. I still have flashbacks to that first combat we had when no one rolled above a 2. Yeah, so that was episode 9, The False Queen. I am Mike. I'll be here every Monday night for the next 3-ish weeks, I think. And then maybe possibly in the future. But if you want to see more of my face, you can come see me over on twitch.tv/unmadegaming or here on YouTube at Unmade Gaming. And before we get the heck out of here, let's talk to our cast and crew and see who you guys think deserves amongst yourselves the XP for this week.
I want to vote for Jordan, even though I know Jordan's not going to be here, but excellent RPing this week with Arri and just manhandling things like a pro. I really enjoyed it.
I was going to go for Kenny in the obsession with the disc that has proved helpful.
I was going to go with Arri for the Hulk smash moment that kind of got us into the elevator and.
That was fun. And I think Kenny saved the day with the statue. So I know it's a tie, but I guess we'll leave it up to our GM to do the tiebreaker. So,
man, I'm going to give it to Arri for the most liberally applied use of Arri today. No one jostled you. And you actually get to do things. So it was a good episode for Arri, I think. So I will break that tie, and you get the bonus XP. And if that's enough to give you a little level boost, we will adjust while you are gone, and you can level up that way. Okay. Cool. So I'll remind you guys out there in Chatland, in the comments down below, who you think deserves the XP. We'll start up next week with that. Who you think and why you think that. And if you guys are watching the video afterwards, same thing applies to you guys in the comments down below. And with that, we're going to get the heck out of here. Bye-bye.
Bye.